Fellow Jaywalkers, lend me your ears. So, what the hell is all this all about? Well, I have a spiritual malady, and that spiritual malady means that that the problem I've had most of my life is the lack of God, and without God in my life, that I seem to get in all kinds of trouble. And there's a little passage I'm going to read. Our behavior is absurd, incomprehensible with respect to the first drink as that of an individual with a passion, say, for jaywalking. He gets a thrill out of skipping in front of fast moving vehicles. He enjoys himself for a few years in spite of his friendly warnings. Up to this point, you may label him as a foolish chap having queer ideas for fun. Luck then deserts him, and he is slightly injured several times in succession. You would expect him, if he were normal, to cut it out. Presently he is hit again, and this time has a fractured skull. Within a week after leaving the hospital, a fast-moving trolley car breaks his arm. He tells you he's decided to stop jaywalking for good, but in a few weeks he breaks both legs. On through the years, this conduct continues, accompanied by continual promise to be careful or to keep off the streets altogether. Finally, he can no longer work. His wife gets a divorce, and he is held up to ridicule. He tries every known means to get the jaywalking idea out of his head. He shuts himself up in the asylum, hoping to mend his ways. But the day he comes out, he races in front of a fire engine which breaks his back. Such a man would be crazy, wouldn't he? You may think our illustration is too ridiculous, but is it? We who have been through the ringer have to admit that if we substitute alcoholism for jaywalking, this illustration would fit us exactly. So that's what the hell jaywalkers are about. So what is the jaywalker about? The jaywalker is about I myself trying to find a process to help me stay on the path, right, of my spiritual malady, which is lack of God. So what I've got to do to make sure that I can continue to live in a life that I actually enjoy today, because I don't live in the life that I used to. Why? Because I found a spiritual solution. I have a daily reprieve based on my spiritual connection, right? So what is the purpose of this? The purpose of this is to try to stay on try to have that daily reprieve, knowing that I have to work every day. I've been in this program, and it's taken me a lot of years to figure out that basically I don't have the capacity to have something like a maintenance steps, right? Because I don't qualify for that. I'm not that smart. I have to work 12 steps every day from 1 through 12 if I want to have the peace of mind and what I consider to be sobriety, which is not lack of alcohol. Sobriety is to me is the life with God, right? So what I'm trying to do here on a daily basis is to reach out to other people that hopefully, what my whole goal is that I become better. And if somebody else gets better because of what I'm doing, that's great, but that's not my intent. My intent is that, I seek out better ways to keep that spiritual connection intact, so I don't fall off the beam. It's kind of like saying that I need a meeting. I need a meeting. Who hadn't heard that? I need a meeting. No, the reality of it is, as I realized later in life, is not, I don't need a meeting. I need to go to enough meetings that I don't need a meeting. And then I'll never be at that edge. So this is kind of the same thing, where I don't need to pray and meditate. I just prayed and meditated, right? The book tells me that I need to do that every day. So this is going to be a little bit of what we talk about. We talk about the spiritual experience, right? And how do I keep intact? How do I keep that plugged in? There's a lot of different ways to be able to do that, but my goal is to keep this also to 5 minutes, and it's 5 minutes. See you tomorrow.